Welcome back to Talking Business Weekly with me, Aaron Hesselhurst. You know, the hotel industry, it's one of the big beasts of the global tourist trade, which is coming back from the death blow of COVID. Radisson Hotel Group is one of the largest players in the world, but with tourist giant China suffering massive COVID restrictions and the dollar's value impacting on who travels where, I got the chance to catch up with the group's big boss. Federico González, a real pleasure having you on my show. Thanks for your time. And Federico, my main topic of the show this week is about childcare and the huge difficulties and expense for families all around the world. So I want to start on that. As an employer in the hospitality industry, where we know women make up more than half of the workforce, how do you retain and attract female workers? I'm wondering, do you have childcare policies?
I mean, as you know, is very well known now that in these days we are having more issues to attract people in hospitality after the pandemic. It's more and more difficult, okay, to recruit talent. And actually this becomes one of the critical issues, is how if you start working with us in a hotel, how you can develop your career, and how can you make your career more balanced and be able to cope with your personal life and private life.
Yeah, the life balance.
So we're trying to adapt that nearly in any country, because it will be increasingly more complicated, okay, to be able to attract good talent that wants to make a good career with us.
Federico, let's talk about the strength of the US dollar.
Yes.
Something I've been talking about a lot recently. I mean, currently its strength is around a 20-year high. That's got to be having an impact on a global business like yours.
Well, it is, but actually, you know, it's always there's always good and bad things, okay, with any of the things. If you look, for example, to our business in the UK, I mean, tourism. Okay,
yeah.
If you look to from a touristic point of view, then obviously there is a very positive effect. Okay, traveling to Europe now for any American is a much better, affordable experience. And I think there is one thing that is happening, is that we are becoming more local in the supply chain. I think there was a moment where international trade and the exchange rates and the situation enable us to do sourcing at higher levels from one given destination. I think now in the supply chain we need to go much more local.
Federico, let's talk about this growth plan, because, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm looking at some of the numbers. You've committed to having more than 150 hotels across the African continent by 2025. A 400% growth in Asia Pacific. I think you're going from something like 400 properties to 2,000, all by 2025.
Yes.
How can you be sure that the demand is going to be there in, we're talking 2-3 years away?
I think that's a good question. But I think there's going to be a significant amount of opportunities, not only for new hotels, but also for conversions. If you look to Asia, our growth targets are very aggressive, but actually depend on two things. In one side, today we have around 40 hotels in China. But actually we have done with Jinjiang, that is the #2 global operator of hotels, we have done a joint venture with them. They sell today, we have an MFA agreement with them, and we have signed just in the last 2 years nearly 150 hotels of Radisson brands. So I think our capacity to grow in China as an international brand, I mean, we have been able to grow from 25 nearly to 200. I think there is potential to go way above the 500, 600 in the coming years.
Federico, just briefly, you mentioned China, but China, Beijing still has this zero case mentality, and it's, you know, lockdown, opened, lockdown, open. That's got to have an impact on the business.
Well, that has had a significant impact, okay, on the business. I think this is kind of a theme that I hope one day they change, you know, at least to 1, okay, tolerance 1, okay, because tolerance 0 is a bit difficult statement. But I think that cannot continue. I mean, you cannot block a billion people country, okay, for I think much more longer. So we expect actually that will open up a bit during the coming months, and I think we should be expecting the Chinese to be able to travel back in the months of March, April, and I think the country will open up. They will find a solution. Which one, I don't know.
Okay,
but I think they will have to find a solution.
Federico, I want to ask you this: what impact are the disruptors, the Airbnbs? What impact are they having on the Radisson Group?
If I look overall, after obviously a first impact that happened in towns like New York or in California, but I think after the years, I think it's a solution that I would never advise anybody if you want to feel safe with a fire alarm or the safety you may have in my hotels, but if you want to go, then is for different occasions possibly. Is not, you may not get the help if you're in a business meeting, or if something doesn't work, you may not get the same level of help of a hotel. But it's good for some occasions, okay, where you may go with friends or you may go with different needs. And I think at the end of the day, after 5 years or 6 years, when you look to the numbers, it's not destroying the market.
Well, on that point, Federico González, a real pleasure having you on the show, and I'll check in with you soon.
I will think.
Thank you.
Thank you.